So how are you? I am Michele Benendo. I hope you're fine, and I will be your host for today. So first of all, I want to thank you again for being here with us. And today especially is a special day because for two reasons, actually. First, today we'll be talking about the new features of Anima 3.5, but there is also something else. It's Christmas, and this will be the last coffee break talk we will have in 2018. So this, I hope, will be a little bit special. And we want here at Access Design to be a little special, to make this special by giving you a little surprise by the end of this talk. So stick with us till the end and you will discover what this surprise will be. So first of all, for those who don't know what these coffee break talks are, our events are occasions for us at Access Design to meet our users or potential users, people interested in this case in the crowd simulation software, in this case Anima, okay? And what we need always is to know how our users feel and about Anima, how it works, and get feedbacks from them, and of course sharing with you best practices and in this case new features. So let's dive in, and the first thing I want to show you is how to use this platform. Okay, so I will just show you something that you are watching at this moment. This space here in the center is where you will watch what I will be sharing with you, and on the right we have the chat. Of course, all of you, I suppose, know how to use a chat. This is the place where you can discuss with other users, and most importantly, you can ask questions. Okay, so here we have a couple of Access Design developers, Diego and Albert. They are here to answer your doubts, your questions, and to respond to your feedbacks in general. Okay, one thing I want to point out is to mark your questions and doubts as a question here, as you can see at the bottom right on top of the text field. You can use to digit your message. Okay, so this way all those marked questions will appear in a specific list where it will be easier for us to see them. Okay, so let's start. And well, how are you doing, guys? It seems quite good. Okay, so let's start here. Don't worry for those that will keep coming. Okay, this webinar after will be available. Okay, so here we are in Anima. I told you that I'm going to talk about the new features of the 3.5 version of Anima. Now, let's start from the beginning. In this case is the interface. The interface, as you can see, if you have used Anima, that is crowd simulation software, hasn't changed too much. Okay, the first change is on the top bar. Okay, here we have on the right, we have the toggles we used before in the previous version, but up to the 3.0, to toggle panels of the interface. Okay, while on the left we have the switch to change between the drawing mode, where we work on the scene, the environments, to the editing mode, where we work with characters. Okay, we personalize them, we set animation, variations, and so on and so forth. In general, the interface hasn't changed too much. Well, actually, very little. But there are some changes very important. Okay, the first one I want to show you is inside the viewport. Okay, and is this little icon here. Now, this actual new feature, the top view tool, is an actual feature that comes from several requests from users asking for us, can we have a top view to better draw, edit our simulation elements? So you got here. Okay, so left click, and now we have a top view. Now, this is not an orthographical top view is a perspective top view. Okay, so this way we can better understand how the environment is made, and of course we can easily draw or modify what we already have. Okay, keep in mind that if we select, for example, say a character, and I click the top view, this character will be centered in this top view. But if I deselect everything and I click this button again, I will still get the top view, but with the overall scene. Okay, so just to keep in mind. Now, the nice thing here is that we can still working with our vertical bar here to being able to hide certain portions of our scene to better draw and work with our area tools, tables, paths, and so on. Okay, so these are the little features that have changed. There is another one, and it's related to the baking process. Usually, as we see the timeline now, we couldn't, in previous versions, okay, we couldn't access the lock or unlock buttons here. Okay, so through these buttons, what we can do is to bake all the animations to lock them up and be sure that nothing will be changed or modified. But before, what we should have done is to hit the spacebar or hit play, let the simulation be calculated, and then this button would appear active. Now it's all done for you. Okay, so I just left click and Anima tells me, okay, we need to calculate the simulation. So do you want to do this? Yes. So just only the simulation bar is now appearing. Okay. And now we can bake all the animations and we get the same dialogues we have in the previous versions. So this way, we don't have to think if we have calculated the simulation or not, since it will be done directly by Anima itself. Okay, so I now have this locked, and I can go and keep working with the perspective view, since from the top view, since even the top view is a perspective view just from the top. Okay, well, these are the little changes we had in the interface and some little change in workflow, for example, for the baking animation and the new top view. But the main core of the 3.5 version is this little guy here, this little icon. This is, of course, the Anima logo, but it's also a button that it's related to the main feature that is a live link, synchronization, and connection with 3D compatible applications such as 3ds Max and Cinema 4D. Today I will be showing you this in 3ds Max, but it works exactly the same in Cinema 4D. Okay? Now I will change this scene here. Okay, so I will load a different scene. Okay, I will not save this, so no. I want to load the classroom. Okay, I click open. And let's see what happens. Now, I have this project, okay, as the one before. This scene, we are in the same project, but we can work with different scene, of course. And we have these characters here. Now, what we usually do when we want to export this work done inside Anima to a 3D application, what we would do is just to save the scene, go to the 3D application, in this case 3ds Max. As you can see here, I have the models, the background model actually I'm using inside Anima, but also inside this 3D scene, where, for example, then I will calculate a still rendering or an animation, whatever I need in general. Okay, so what I would do is just to go to the Axis Design menu and import Anima project. Okay, that's fine. But the point is, if I do some change, I have to change something inside Anima, and I want to update inside 3ds Max that, what I should do, I should re-import everything. Okay, so now, and there is where the live link, alive, comes in handy. So we go back to anima, and as you can see, there is this icon, and this icon is white. This means that there is a 3D compatible applications open, in this case 3ds Max. If, for example, I would close 3ds Max, this icon would appear grayed out. Okay, so just to consider that anima it's always listening. Okay, so now what I can do is just left click on it, and it asks me, do you want to send the data to 3ds Max? I click yes, and as you can see, the icon is just moving, animating. This means that the synchronization is in process. And when the icon stops and changes to this yellow one, it means that the synchronization is completed. What does it mean? Well, let's have a look at 3ds Max. And as you can see, the simulation has been sent and imported directly into 3ds Max without having to go to 3ds Max. Okay, now I open 3ds Max because I have to apply the materials. That is something that we know, or at least this is what happens even when we import a project. Now I can select the anima object, go to modify panel, and here show textures in viewport. Okay, so in this case we have skipped one step, the one where we import every time, because every time we want, we are synchronized within anima. But what happens if I make some changes here? Okay, let's say, for example, that I want to change these two characters here, these two ready post characters. So I go to the ready post category, and I change, for example, this photographer with this other one. I just, okay, I place it there, and I change this woman with this other one, sorry. Okay, now what I have to do, one thing, save. As you can see here, I have to save it, and once I save a scene, just have to go to 3ds Max, and boom, these characters have been replaced. So show textures in viewport, and that's it. Okay, you say, yes, it's fine. You have changed actually two characters that were already there. But what happens if you make some bigger changes? Well, let's have a look. Okay, so we go here and we say this table here, I want to delete it. Okay, so I just hit delete, I save, I go back to 3ds Max, and yes, those two characters are no more. So as you can see, we can keep changing and it keeps updating. So I could do exactly the same thing. Here again, I can create a new table with two new characters, okay, like this, and select, say, these two, assign them to the list, okay. Wait, sorry, I'm using ready post and they don't work in this case, so like this and this, okay, select them, generate, and there they are. So I click save, go back to 3ds Max, wait a couple of seconds, and there we have them. This is very useful and quite more straightforward than before. So we can keep working in anima, saving the scene, knowing that the synchronization will keep updating the 3ds Max, in this case, or Cinema 4D scene accordingly. Okay, it seems very simple, and actually it is that simple. This is the whole idea behind anima, to be simple and yet very powerful. Okay, but we have one way to add content in a scene, anima axis design content in general, within directly 3ds Max, our 3D application. Okay, so now I have to go to the axis design menu, and I use an option called the drag and drop gallery. So I can click on this, and this pop-up appears. Now, one important thing about this panel. First of all, this can be used without having anima launched, opened. Okay, so this means that we could use ready post characters, and for the moment we only have those. Okay, directly inside 3ds Max without having to open anima. Okay, so for example, say I want to place this man here. Okay, so I just click and drag. It will be imported directly. Okay, click and drag as it works in Anima without being in Anima. And I just place one instance. And I could keep left clicking, adding more instances. But you know what? I don't want to add always the same character. So right click, and that's it. I just closed this tool. But what I want is not to place characters one by one. I want to being able to select multiple characters, say for example, this, and this, and drag and drop them inside the scene. Well, actually, this is what I'm going to do. So I just click them here, drag them there. They will be imported. And now it appears just one character. Which one? The first one I have selected here. Okay, so this is how it works. So I click here. Okay, I place this character, and if I keep left clicking, I would create other instances of the same character. But if I right click, I switch to the next character. So I can go here and do this, right click, and then I have the new character here, and right click to end it. Now, this is very useful. Okay, if we need a still rendering and we want to use ready post characters, this is the solution. We don't have to go to Anima, export geometry background, and then re-import here in 3ds Max. We can do this directly here. Okay, but this comes with a little difference, little limitation if you want. Well, first of all, I'm going to select all these new characters. Okay, yes, I have selected. I open the material editor. I get all the selected characters. And now, sorry. Okay, I will activate the textures in Viewport for these characters too. Why is that? Well, just to show you how well they integrate. They are exactly the same as the others, but they are not actually the same. I will show you now. If I select a character belonging to the project I have imported, and I go to the modify panel, I see an anima actor. Okay. Now, if I select a character I've created through the drag and drop gallery, I can see it is not an anima actor, but an editable mesh. It's a 3ds Max, in this case, object. Okay, so just keep in mind this. These are not part of this project I have imported. However, as you can see here, we can mix them. The only thing, keep in mind that if we make changes in Anima, these new characters we added through the drop-down gallery won't be taken into account. Okay, so auto save in progress. Okay, just a second. So now what I'm going to do is to go back to Anima and do one thing. I will open a different scene. What happens? Well, no, let's do the other way. Okay, we go here in 3ds Max, okay, and I will open a different scene here. What happens? Well, let's go to this one. I will not save this, just keep it clean. Okay, so this is another project. I have a stage, a concert stage. We have tribunes. I'm working on the tribunes. I want to populate with a lot of people in front of the stage, on the tribunes, and so on and so forth. Okay, what happens when we change scene in 3ds Max and we go back to Anima with the old scene? As you can see here, this icon has went back to the icon when I could create the synchronization. Why is that? Because there is no Anima project inside this scene. As you can see, there is no Anima logo here. Okay, so this means that we could synchronize this scene with that one, yes, but we would have a little problem because the simulation would be exported, no problem, imported, no problem, but the background geometry is different. It's not the same. So just to keep in mind this, okay? So what I'm going to do now actually is to open different scenes. and I will show you another really, really good thing about the synchronization. Okay, I'm going to use this, this, and this, and not close the classroom. I will open those. Okay, so this is the project I'm working with. And yes, it is exactly the same as the one I have here in 3ds Max. Hmm? But the point is that these two projects, the one in 3ds Max and the one in Anima, are not synchronized. Okay, so how we can do this? Can we synchronize these scenes? Yes, but one important thing you have to consider is that here, when we have multiple scenes opened in Anima and we synchronized, we are sending all scenes data to 3ds Max. Okay, so I will do this. Actually, yes, I want to send this to 3ds Max. Yes, and this will take a little bit more than before because we have more elements, but as you can see here, it's quite fast. So apply materials, and as you can see here, I have all three scenes here inside. Now, there are these placeholders. These are these arrows, and this really is something I can change. Just a second. Okay, I can change this with this option. Okay, I can decide how many characters I want to render in the viewport. Okay, this is just something for about optimization, because of course there are many models, animated models, even more. So what I want is just to optimize. What happens is that now I have this scene, which is the one where I'm going to define my renders, my cameras, my other things, okay? But in Anima, I keep working on three scenes, okay? So this is great. This is very, very useful, especially in large projects, okay? That's really nice. So here, as you can see, we can set different things. We can set the maximum number of characters we want here to be placed. And as you can see here, we have the scenes we are related to, that are related to from within 3ds Max. And there is one way to understand, to know if we are synchronized with Anima within 3ds Max, okay? So we go down here, and we have here the connection panel, rollout, and it tells me already synchronized, okay? But we could have the chance perfectly to go here and without synchronization, click on sync project with Anima. Okay? So this way, in that case, it would open the Anima scene, a project we would need. Just to show you that it's possible to go both ways. And actually, what I'm going to show you now is exactly that. Not this about sync project, but how can we send some data from 3ds Max in this case, or Cinema 4D in another case, directly to Anima. Well, let's talk a little bit about a different thing. Okay, so I will open a different scene here, which is the public. Okay, so open here, and it's basically the same project but with a different setup. Okay, so now as you see, I have this tribune, I have people in front of the stage, on the stage, coming in. So this place is getting more lively. Okay, now what happens if I want, for example, the person who's working in Anima is not the person who's working on the background model. Now, the background model is quite important, sorry, because is what contains the collisions that are fundamental for the simulation, to place characters, where, and of course, as reference inside Anima to know what we are doing. But what happens if the person who's working inside 3ds Max, for example, is changing the background model? What we should do is to add a new one or delete the old one and then re-export from 3ds Max, re-import in Anima, and so on and so forth. So several steps. Okay, what if we had or have a way of change things inside 3ds Max, and while synchronized, we send that change to anima. As you can see here, I opened a different scene, and with respect of what we have here in 3ds Max. Okay, because here I have a different project. Okay, so what I can do now is to click here and choose what I want to do, but I have to be careful. Here I can send this new scene to 3ds Max, or open the related scenes of the project I have in the 3ds Max scene. I won't do any of those, because what I want to do now is just to, in this case, I will select this and just delete it. Okay, so now I go here and I will send the content of this scene to 3ds Max. So now, because in the other case we would have overlapped. Perfect. Okay, so now we are ready. Okay, what happens here, for example, I have, well, I would select the anima logo, in this case the anima object, and I go here, and here we have the geometry backgrounds. As you can see, this list is a list where I can add all the elements of the geometry I want to send as collision to anima. At the moment, there is none. Okay, so what I will do is just to select this one, the tribune. I don't want this part here. Okay, so I select this, sorry, I have to select this object, and I simply have to add and pick on the object I want to add. I could also do this using this list, very simple, simply clicking and picking. So now, since I am connected, as you can see here, already synchronized, I can send to anima. So I go to anima now, and it disappeared. Of course, I have people here that are not part of that geometry background. So I delete them, I save the scene, and I go back to 3ds Max, and there they have disappeared. Just a second. You see? Of course, here I can hide this selection, hide selection, okay? And as you can see, there are no more those two characters, okay? So as you can see, we can go back and forth. We can send data from anima to 3ds Max and from 3ds Max to anima. But collisions are not the only thing we can send to anima. And by the way, you saw how interesting is this, because this way we have not to export again, re-import in anima, and so on and so forth. Okay, so for example, say I want to, I'm creating an animation. Okay, well, let's start with a still rendering. Okay, I have this. I want, well, this is my first point of view, my first camera. So I select the camera. Okay, I change the name, entrance cam. Okay, that's it. And once I've created a camera inside a scene synchronized with anima, I can go back to anima and look what happens. You see here, this new icon that has appeared. So this icon let me exactly see through the same camera with the same aspect ratio I have in 3ds Max. This is great because we can work and check if our work in the simulation is already all right with the point of view or views, because watch this. No, sorry, I'm moving the camera. Okay, perspective. Okay, so for example, say I want to create another point of view. Say this. Okay, I want this point of view here from the bottom like this, and I will create another camera. So this is stage cam. Go back to anima and let's see what happens. Okay, so we have this camera, But if I click here, I have also the second camera. You see, this is great. This is really, really great. And of course, we can play and see what is happening from that point of view. Okay? Well, so I will switch back to the entrance cam. By the way, if we left click again this icon, we just go back to the perspective view, okay? Not the camera view. But if I click the camera, I go here. What happens if, let's say, instead of still renderings, or even more, I want not only still renderings, but also animations, I go to 3ds Max, perspective, okay. So I take this camera here and its target, select auto key, I just create a position key for those two, okay, and then I move this camera here in another position, like for example here, the target, again, same thing, for example here, well, just to be able to see what I'm looking at. Well, sorry, I made a mistake, okay, I didn't want to change in this keyframe, I have to go to the last keyframe, if not, it wouldn't work, okay, so like this. And now I should have here, here I have to set the perspective, sorry, the camera I want to work with, exactly. Now I have to change the point of view of this camera here, and as you can see, this camera has been animated. That's very fine, very interesting. Okay, so if I go back to Anima and hit play, look at what happens. We got also the animation. So we can keep scrubbing here the timeline that of course have to have the same length than the one in 3ds Max, okay? So we can keep working and from this point of view on the simulation and switch back and forth from the camera view to the perspective view, work, go back to the camera view, and still having all the other cameras, okay? So as you can see, the 3.5 version comes with a lot of new features, and in general, the synchronization of Anima with our 3D application is a great way of streamlining the workflow. We still keep using the old workflow, no problem with that, but the idea is to make it faster, okay, and even simpler, okay? So just a second, I want to check that I have everything covered, or well, actually there is something more that I have to tell you, and that is, I told you that today is a special day. Yes, I told you that. So we are almost there, okay. So it seems that almost everything has been done. In Anima, as you can see, we have a lot of new things, and this is just the beginning, okay? This has been the first step for future development of Anima in the future releases that will go and will follow this path through the streamlining the workflow, okay, using this synchronization. Even more things will be coming. Now, there is one more thing, as usually they say at the end of the conferences, and this is another new things we have, and this is the Anima website, okay? The Anima website has been redesigned, okay? The Anima website is actually a very important place because, as you can see here, we are looking at the new website. This is a sort of dashboard, if you want, and here we are in the store. As you can see here, we have a store a little bit more tidy, okay? We have, well, a couple of filters, Anima, Metropoly, but we can here see characters, Anima licenses, and so on and so forth, okay? So we can get here, we have the chance to have a look at all the point of views of these characters to add to the cart, and or for example have a look at the Anima Lite in this case if you want, or buying Anima Pro, and this is very interesting. The important thing is that it's everything there as before, but better than before, Okay, and the central part is that since here is where you buy your licenses, is you buy where you buy your assets, the idea is to have to develop more integration between this tool, the website, and anima itself. And this is actually direction that has been taken for the future. Now, the most important place for us is surely the profile. Okay. Okay, so now I have to log in and there. Okay, so your profile has been changed a little bit. It's a bit more functional, okay, a bit more tidy. As you can see here, you have your, well, actually your informations, and the most important parts are on the right. Okay, here you have the list of orders. Here I have my order. I have here the online course that I suggest you if you are interested to know how it works animal in every single detail, then you can buy this course. It's made by me. There are included all the new features that you have, so don't worry, it's completely updated. Okay, I have my pro licenses and all the assets I've ordered. Okay, now as you can see here, each character can be downloaded already in the specific type we want, format in this case. Then we have the tickets. I have none, but is where you can add tickets and interact with the anima development team. Okay, downloads is the place actually where you can download your license, your anima version, okay, and all the characters. In this case, those I have in my download section. Now, one important thing is I want to tell you is this: if you download a character in the anima format, this any, okay, if I select it, I have two choices. As every time I want to download something, I can open it, in this case with anima, or save the file. Now, in both cases, well, the first one we can open in anima and it will install automatically. But if we save the file and we save it to the downloads folder, it will, if you have anima opened, be installed automatically again. So it's very, very simple to use. Now I already have them, so I don't want to install them again. So I have here my anima course. I can click play and have a look at those videos and learn new things, new ways, the right ways to use the fantastic tool. Then you have the addresses, the licenses here, the workstation, the render nodes, and of course we have the coupons. Oops, I have discovered the surprise. I shouldn't have. Yes, the coupons is where you have those coupons, the discounts you can get by participating, for example, to webinars or for other occasions. Okay, and of course there are many other things. We still have the anima page, the metropoly, where you have all the library about the characters, metropoly characters you can buy to extend the anima library, the documentation, okay, the gallery, the support, of course, and of course the blog. Blog is very important in this case because here you can keep up to date. For example, free Christmas webinar. So here we are. Okay, so here all the updates, all the news regarding anima and the Axis design team in general. Okay, so I think that we more or less have seen everything. Well, I'm quite sure we've seen everything. I suggest you to have a look at the new website, have navigate it, see how it works, and send feedbacks if you think that something can be done better, as the same thing for anima. Okay, we are here exactly for that, and we love always to listen to our users. And as I've told you, I've shown you, several features here come from you actually. Okay, so we are a development team, a team in general that is very responsive. This is our goal, to do something for the users, of course, be done correctly. Okay, so we are at the end of this webinar, but I promised you a gift. Well, it was a surprise. Well, actually, it's a gift. Well, you probably know this because during the marketing, the communication of this for this webinar, we told you that there would be a gift. And of course it is. It's Christmas, and you will all the registered to this webinar that attended here will receive an email with a 50% discount for buying on the Access Design store, and you will receive a free model. Okay, so this is a sort of well, thank you for being here, and of course to let you know and enjoy what we do. And we will stop for 5 minutes because there is one more thing. Yes, there was just one. No, there are two. In these 5 minutes, we will randomly select one of you that have attended to this webinar, and that person will win an Anima Pro license for free. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed it. So just give us 5 minutes and we'll be back to announce the winner. Okay, so guys, see you in 5 minutes. And welcome back again, and we have a winner. Okay, so guys, just let me a second. The winner is Christos Viskadorakis. I hope to have pronounced it correctly. I'm sorry if I don't, but I'm Italian and I speak Spanish and English, but not anything else. So I hope I have it done properly. So Christos, are you here? You have an Anima Pro license for free. You will receive, yeah, Christos. So one thing is, I want to point out, I'm sorry, I told you that the 50% discount is on everything on the store, is not for everything, it's just for buying an Anima Pro license, okay? So I'm sorry, guys, but, well, it's always a nice gift, I think so, okay? So congratulations, Christos. I hope you will enjoy this program. I'm sure you will. And, of course, I hope every one of you have enjoyed this webinar, that you found your answers here. Surely Diego, Victor, Albert, Carlos will have answered you, I suppose. So thank you very much, guys. And of course, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will see you in the 2019. Bye.